All right, folks, it's about as early as what is socially acceptable to start doing lawn work. Already been to the gym. Was ready to come earlier, but you know, you can't be running loud noises around here when the neighbors are still sleeping. So anyway, we're ready to get after it. It's one of those days, it's nice and brisk. I think the high is like 64, so it's gonna be great to really get into the lawn. I'm getting excited. This is one of those things where it's probably too early. People say to wait to scalp until it's half green. You just get excited, you know, and just ready to do it. I've never waited that long before. I was just ready to go, and we're gonna get this thing done. I'm gonna scalp it as low as possible. I'm kind of unemotional about the order that I do this in. Just, I think about every piece of equipment that I have is gonna get a workout today. Not the 1026, I don't think, maybe. I don't know about the 1026. It's so shiny and so new. I just don't know if I want to get it out until the lawn is really nice and I know that there's not a single little pebble or a single little piece of mulch out on the lawn. So that's where I'm at on the 1026. Maybe we'll get that out today. I don't know, we'll see. But I had someone send me a question. They sent me a picture on Instagram and they were wondering about their lawn, saying it looks kind of thin because they started scalping. So they moved into this house, the Bermuda was like 3 inches tall, and then they scalped it and they're like, oh no, this looks really thin, and they were wondering about overseeding, and I was like, no, don't overseed. When you've got it at 3 inches tall and you scalp it, you're just gonna see like the base of each grass blade. It gets thinner and leggy when you keep it taller, but if you scalp it and keep it that way for a little while, just keep mowing at that height, it's gonna thicken up. So like I said, I'm pretty unemotional about the order that you use equipment in order to scalp. I just say whatever you've got, take it out there and cut it as short as you can. The thing that makes the most sense for me right now is to use the Time Master, because the only thing I have, not the only thing, the biggest thing that I have that'll bag stuff. So I want to bag this grass, and then there's like some mulch that's falling out of that bed, some other just random junk that's kind of on the yard from all winter because I haven't done anything, just been sitting here dormant. So anyway, I want to collect and pick up as much of that stuff as I possibly can, get rid of it. So bag it and take it and dump it somewhere else. But again, if you don't have a real mower to scalp it even lower, you just want to scalp it lower than what your normal cutting height is, as low as you can, really. Get rid of as much of the brown as possible. Because you know, if you don't have all the fancy equipment to get it down to dirt, like what I'm trying to do here, the equipment that you have is better than the equipment that you wish you had 100% of the time. Don't forget it. But anyway, let's get after it. What timing? Just a couple passes in and look who shows up. Hi! We got a Scalp Left Tools lawn today too. Now time for the power rake. I probably could have used the power rake first, but I don't know. I also had some weeds out here that I wanted to kind of scoop up with that Time Master, and it took like 10 minutes to run around with the Time Master anyway. So again, I'm just running around with as much stuff as I can, rough up this grass, pull up as much dead stuff as I can and get rid of it. So I'm gonna go over it multiple times, probably multiple days, but today just gonna try to get as much done as possible. So power rake time. I love that thing. I just take it out. I only use it like twice a year, but when I do, it's just so helpful. It makes it so much easier. Basically, does like a tiny bit of leveling. I'm not gonna sit here and say like, oh, that thing levels my lawn. No, but if there's like a little bump or some dirt that's mounted up, whatever, that just like rakes it up and gets all the little bumps, I guess. If there are any tiny little bumps, it drags on the ground, messes with the dirt, blah, blah, blah. Also pulls out some weeds. So I sprayed some weeds here like a week ago. They're dying, and so it's pulling out some POA. Some pretty cool stuff there. Also, if there's tiny little rocks that are sitting right under the top of the grass, it pulls those up so that you can actually see them. And everybody knows, real mowing knows that rocks are no bueno. You can't have that. So this thing is so helpful, and I love it. Look at all this junk. Like, look at all this stuff that's pulling up, making it so much easier to go around again, pull up a lot of that dead stuff. Again, I'm trying to get rid of all of it and basically be down to dirt as much as possible. All right, Time Master's out of gas. Still got to pick up some more junk around here. Left tool is gonna go get some gas.
And no brakes. You look, there's an electric over there.
All right, so I'm gonna start using this one and keep on trucking. Mr. Delivery is back with the delivery of some gas. And so the 60 volt 21-inch recycler, I used it and I have no problem with the power at all. I think that electric mowers have their place. Now, my neighbor, I've got a lady right across the cul-de-sac who uses an electric mower all the time, mows her tall fescue. So she's going through some thick stuff and she seems to make it work. Like, now I know why, because these things work a lot better than I thought. I think there's like a stigma. I don't know, you're like, oh, electric mower. In fact, I had a comment, I'm pretty sure it was on a YouTube video, it doesn't matter, but a comment somewhere where someone called me foul names because I was using an electric, I think it was a weed eater at that point. Anyway, I was pleasantly surprised. Now I have to empty the bagger a lot more because there's just so much junk sitting out there that it has to suck it up, and this bagger's not as big. So we'll tag team this, knock this out, and finish it up. But I am pleasantly, actually you should use that. You should use that and see what you think.
The biggest stigma, is that the right word for it?
Yeah.
The criticism, like when I'm doing this, like it just feels like it's about to just snap in half.
It is really light, that's true.
It's light, it just doesn't feel like it's all that strong. But I mean, it is strong. But it just feels that way. But I mean, when you use like the
right. It
Super Recycler or the other one, you're like, this thing cannot be broken.
Well, right.
Those feel like they're gonna do the job for you. This, when you're pushing around, you're like, is this actually working? But it
feels like a toy.
Yeah.
But anyway,
it feels like a toy.
But you need to use it here. Well, he's going to use it, and then we'll get his opinion on it in a second. Like I said, I was pleasantly surprised. But let's finish this up, this little area that I haven't finished yet, and then we'll get back to you.
It's hard to compare when all you're used to using is the Super Recycler and the, and the Time Master.
Well, I think what everybody gets into is you start comparing this to that, and you're not comparing apples to apples. It's a different purpose. Like I said, our neighbor, she's got tall fescue, and she doesn't act like it's any big deal to mow her yard. What is this, like 4,000 square foot yard? She does it all the time and doesn't act like it's any big deal. It does a great job. Versus if I'm trying to mow the field back there, I probably don't want to use, well, I probably don't want to use any of this equipment, but you know what I'm saying. I don't think you can compare. There's a different purpose. There's a different.
Yeah. Yeah, if you're not a fan of the gas stuff and you want battery, then yeah, I mean, you're probably gonna want to keep up with your lawn a little bit more. You're not gonna want to let it overgrow if you have the battery.
Yeah, you can keep up with it.
But I mean,
that's good for your lawn anyway. I don't.
But I mean, for like, especially like for like an elderly person, I'm not gonna tell them to go get a Time Master anyway, because
right,
they can't haul that thing around.
And for a small lawn, I think they're gonna get a lot more popular. You all know this is the part that I'm really excited for, getting the real mower back out. Now, check this out. This is new to me over the winter. Scott Price, LT Turf Season 2, Episode 2, I believe. He heard of a golf course going out of business, and they were basically selling off all their stuff. And he got me this digital height of cut gauge here. It is sweet. I think these things are usually super expensive, but I got this, a flag stick, a ball washer, a cup hole digger. I feel like it was a couple other things. Anyway, all for like $100. Normally, I'm pretty sure these are a couple hundred by themselves. I just set this to 0.4 inches, and it was super easy. It's gonna be a lot more accurate. So anyway, I'm excited. Let's go real mow something.
So the viewer at home would like to know what you're doing out here.
Living the dream, man.
There's not even green grass. What is going on?
I'm complete again. I get to real mow and sitting around all winter. No, so I lowered this down to 0.4. I'm cutting all this brown stuff off, just cutting as much of the brown off as I can. It's called scalping. You scalp it down to dirt, down as low as you can to get rid of all this junk so that when the green grass grows through, there's no brown showing. That's the goal. I'm probably gonna go lower, so I'm at 0.4 inches right now, and I'm gonna lower this down, maybe even bring the 1026 out and mow a little lower.
Maybe once it gets a little bit of green up, then take it down.
Just slowly, just keep mowing, because I like to be out here doing this anyway, so just slowly over time, keep scalping it down as low as I can. We're in the transition zone. I'm in North Arkansas, and we're like the last people to get to have like a full green lawn. So I've got some time, but I'm just gonna keep working it down.
Yeah, I think last year it was around like the 1st of May, first week of May, before it actually started to get decently green.
I'm sure that's probably gonna be about right. Had a little lunch break, and now head on over to Left Tool's house and come scalp his lawn.
Yeah, we gotta get this green out of it.
Yeah.
Same coat of paint since it was like the end of October or
When was that?
beginning of November, something like that.
I'm gonna run around in the backyard here a little bit. I think we're gonna go time master to cut down as much as possible, but I'm just gonna go straight at it with, at least on this rye section. So I did spray the rye, just not dead yet. So I'm gonna go over that with the Greensmaster 3100 and the Greensmaster 1026. So let's do this. I'm gonna cut that down a little bit. All right, well there it is. The first lawn care day of 2021 is in the books, and it was a good one. Pulled out every piece of equipment I've got, just because I could. But the 3100 and the Greensmaster 1026, mowing with those was just sort of charity. That was just for me, because it didn't really scalp a whole lot. I did spray this, and so this is gonna die in another, I don't know, week or two. So maybe that's the last mow I get on the ryegrass with the Greensmaster 1026 and the Greensmaster 3100. But anyway, it was fun. It was a good day. I'm tired and ready for next weekend already. So I'll see you later.